This week's Golden Plunger Award recipient is the Massachusetts Association of Student Committees, also known as MASC. MASC hosts the largest plunge in Massachusetts every year, bringing 1,000 high school students from across the state together to raise funds and awareness for Special Olympics. Hear more on why MASC is receiving this week's Golden Plunger Award.
So the MASC has always done a community service project for years and years and years. And every year the state president would select their project. And so you would go through that year and then it would be a new president, a new project. And I always found that there was nothing that was ever really meaningful because you were just, in many ways, it was meaningful for that year and for that president potentially, but I don't know how meaningful it was for schools to really feel like they did something and they created something. So the state president at the time had really wanted to do some work with Special Olympics, and his name was Michael Lees, and he happened to actually be from my school here in Middleborough. And so he had made an appointment on his own with the CEO at the time, Bob Johnson. And we drove out to your place in Marlborough and had a wonderful meeting with him, and it began. And it was just really about how to potentially maybe work with some of the activities of Special Olympics around the state. Well, then it just kept growing from there. And I think when the next state president came in, it was an opportunity to really talk about creating partnership and really building something that really was, I think, really a tenet of what student leaders and what student council does, which is making their schools better and making sure everybody is included in a school. So I think from there, it just started to grow. And I think being able to watch every state president come in and knowing the fact that they wanted to take the torch and make it even bigger and make the program better. And we just kept building and building and building. And I think one of the greatest things is when at the beginning, and I know Patty would know this, is that sometimes at the beginning we'd have schools say, well, we can't find an entry point. We don't know how to do this. And I would always go back to the advisor and say, I really think you can find an entry point. And if you're really trying to create a great school, and that's what student council does, then I really think you can find the entry point. And it's so interesting that now, all these years later, with the 80, 90 schools that attend our state convention and the many more that are involved that do not, you don't hear that question anymore. You don't hear that kind of pause. Because now they understand it and they get it. And when you see the amount of schools that are participating in the plunge and they're participating in bocce, many more schools are becoming unified champion schools. And I just think it is because they see the power of what students can do. And when they see the relationships and the connections that everybody in their school is one, I think it's a game changer.
I'm from Rockland High School. I got into student council like as a freshman. One of my teachers had just recommended to me that I go to the camp, and I just had so much fun, and it really like kind of changed my outlook, like seeing the bond between Special Olympics and like my council. Like the first event that I saw was bocce, unified bocce, and I played in it, and I was just like honestly like baffled. It was held at my school the first year I attended it, and I just saw all these people come together, just sharing all this love, all this kindness, like just seeing great memories form, like genuine friendships. And it was just so amazing to see.
I'm from Duxbury High School, and I too, like Greta, joined my school student council my freshman year because my sister was a member. And so I was tagging along with her in the early months of, starting high school because I was nervous, I guess, didn't know where to go. And I can say that, like, truthfully, the first Hyannis I attended, obviously the polar plunge is one of the first things that we do. And seeing the unity and like everything there that just like encapsulates the MASC spirit, and like really that was kind of the start of me being like, wow, like I think this is something that I really want to get into. And now here I am, vice president. So obviously it worked, and like it really did inspire me. And like, I don't know, just the Special Olympics and MASC together have been such an important part of my high school career, and like kind of represent like things that I value very much. So it's just awesome.
So I'm from Minnetonka Regional High School, and I, like the other two, got started my freshman year. I had a lot of girls on my swim team that were a part of student council, and they'd kind of talk to me about it, and they're like, oh, you should join, you should join. So I ended up joining, and like Wes, I think my first Special Olympics event was the polar plunge. And I was just like blown away by like, the enthusiasm and just the whole energy behind it. And then I was like, okay, like, maybe I'll like continue with this. I really like this. And then I went to bocce the next year, and I mean, I can say with full certainty bocce is my favorite event that we do all year long. Just like the love like that's like shared between everyone, like it just makes you feel good. And I don't know, that's why I really love working with Special Olympics. It just like makes you feel good.
When we came up with this idea of the pre-conference event at our state convention every year down on the Cape to do a plunge, I think we started with maybe, I don't know, maybe 100 people. And all we needed was the first year to get it rolling. And boy, did we have to move to a bigger beach.
The energy on the beach is like so unmatched. And it's like, it's the beginning of our conference, but I feel like that's really when the excitement and energy really like kicks off.
We're all on like the big beach, and like we're all like sitting there waiting for the countdown. We're all in different like crazy funny costumes.
Everyone's lining up, like you hear the countdown, you're getting ready to run in, you're like, oh, you're so excited. Like, you know that once you hit that water, it's going to be icy, like you're going to be chilled, but it's like so worth it.
I think this plunge, and especially in this time where we're in such a weird time in our lives, to know the fact that the commitment of this is still as strong as ever, it's really quite special. So just a thank you to Special Olympics and to MASC and our 3 state officers that are here, who really just define the epitome of what student leaders are.
I just am so thankful to be getting this. I know like MASC loves working with Special Olympics so much, and I'm just so proud of like all the student leaders who have worked unbelievably hard to like keep this momentum going, to like keep this partnership so strong, because I know like everyone in MASC has such a love for inclusivity, like just like creating, like spreading around kindness, spreading around love. And I'm just so proud of everyone and how hard they've had to work through like all of the hardships this year, all the bumps in the road. So I'm just super thankful.
And I'm like so honored, I guess, to be representing MASC, because I know that the Special Olympics is very important to MASC, to all the members of MASC, and it's the polar plunge especially something that we look forward to every year for sure. So it's so awesome to be getting this Golden Plunger. That's so fun. I know that like students, just from a student perspective, like we all take so much out of MASC, and I think that the lessons that we learn through the Special Olympics about inclusion and all that is right there at the top of some of the most important things that we learn. So it's so awesome to see that the Special Olympics, care about us the way that we care about them, I guess.
I know Special Olympics means a lot to not only the 3 of us, but just all of our councils back home in general. I know, especially with such like the crazy year that we've had, the fact that we still had like a little bit of normalcy, the fact that we could still do this polar plunge, I know it meant a lot to my council. The kids in my council have been fundraising like crazy, because I mean, this is like the one thing we could really hold on to, and just the fact that there's such like a positive like message behind it, I think it means a lot. And I'm just proud of everyone for, sticking with it and doing what we love.
How extremely proud I am to just always be working with you guys.
Just thank you again on behalf of the entire Massachusetts Association of Student Councils. We're so grateful for the recognition and this wonderful award, and it will be displayed wonderfully at our state offices at the MSAA in Franklin. So just a sincere thank you from all of us. We love working with Special Olympics, and we know it will be a partnership and a family for many, many years to come. So thanks for everything.